Welcome traders to our start of week technical analysis video. I've decided to leave this one until sort of late afternoon today, just to let the market play out and make its next move really. So as you can see, and as we've been speaking about, we saw a decent bearish push after the new all-time high of around 3,168 was created. And I remember saying that we was watching this hour one candlestick here on the Friday, and we said if we see this candlestick finish anywhere below this black line that we have marked in, if I go to hour 4 real quick, if we saw that hour 4 candlestick finish anywhere below that black line that we marked in, we most likely will see a bearish continuation, and we have definitely seen that. As you can see right now, I'm not sure why the chart is not loading. Hello. Can we get loaded? Thank you. So as you can see, since we had that line crossed, you can see that price has been considerably bearish, with price breaking in fact back into the 2900s again, which is crazy. We're talking around 2,000 pips. Gold at the moment is bearish by a considerable amount. Even if we go to our daily, you can see for the last couple days now, even the last 3 days, we have seen a very strong bearish push. If I go to our weekly, the same sort of thing here. You can see that all-time high was created. We have an exhaustion wick, an exhausted candlestick with a big wick, and then sellers have continued to hold control. Going down to our minute 15, just so we can dive into what has happened recently. So again, what we said is once we see that finish above that, once we see that finish below that black line that we had marked in on hour 4, we most likely will see that bearish continuation. As you can see, we surpassed that level of around 3,060, and price continued all the way down with a low of 2,970, which is actually crazy for gold. But again, do we really care? No, we don't. We're just looking to trade the market, whether it's going up and down. So realistically, it's kind of irrelevant to us. What we're just looking for is our points of interest and to see if they are still reacting within the market. We can definitely see that this level here is definitely still having some impact on the market. You can see that multiple times, 3 times here, we have tested as a resistance. We also have lower levels that we can see here, marked here and here. We can see that these levels are also being respected, and we can also see that these points of interest, if I go down to our minute 5 real quick, you can see that these points of interest are definitely reacting. You can see that we found some sort of support, we broke through, we tested the support here, had some sort of divergence here, resistance found here. Again, this sort of level, price found a resistance, trying to break through this level, and price push back up. So we're definitely good with our levels at the minute. And what we're looking for right now, so obviously the market is bearish, so we have to take into that take into account on this minute 15 anyway that we are in a downtrend, and we just want to take into account what is going on right now. So grabbing our path and just marking in roughly what's going on, we can see that we have some sort of range being formed here, with this level as the lower support, but the previous range was between these 2 levels here. So basically what we're looking for right now is we're looking for price on the lower time frames to do the same sort of thing as we saw here, and the sellers volume come to a halt, with some consolidation down here, perhaps a head and shoulders pattern or something along the likes of a head and shoulders pattern, and then a continuation back up, with price perhaps coming back to this resistance that has been found at around 3,036 at the moment. This is why you want to take into account the price. If I go ahead and just show you what I'm looking at, you can see here on this right hand side we have our price, and as you can see, we are testing just below our 3,000 area. So this level, just as a psychological level, is very important for us. If we see price break back into this level after coming back out of it and coming back well into the 3,000s, most likely we'll see a continuation. But as of right now, we're testing around that area. If I go to our minute 5, you can see that price is testing around this area. Even if we go to our minute 1, you can see that price is starting to thin out a little bit on both sides. How this big bearish candlestick indicating to us that we most likely will see a continuation of this push. As it goes for hard time frames, hour 4, you can see that we do have a level here which has been tested as a previous resistance, a previous all-time high, and a previous support before the most recent bullish push. We do have a exhausting candlestick here with a humongous wick, bringing that was the drop down to around 2,970. So what we're looking for here is just sort of for price to start for buyers to start taking control here. Once we start seeing buyers taking control, we're going to want to start entering long positions. Obviously wait for our signals to be sent into our VIP group chat, but as of right now, I don't think, if I just have a little look real quick, we've had a few signals sent in today. We've had three signals that have hit our so we had one signal that sent in this morning that hit TP4 for 200 pips. We had a signal not long after that that hit stop loss for 95 pips. We then had a TP2 for 50 pips, and a trade that is currently still active was taken roughly 40 minutes ago, and TP3 has been hit, and that was a buy as well, which is interesting. So as of right now, you can see that price is bearish, but I believe we took our position around here. Anyway, with that all being said, we're just waiting for price to sort of make its mind up. If we see this bottom level surpassed, price most likely will, sorry, let me go my path again, price most likely will continue bearish. If we see price start staggering and we see some sort of buyer control, price most likely will come back up to here by the end of today. As it goes for long term, that is the 21 hour. I do not care about the 21 hour time frame. As it goes for long term, so what we're looking for again is we're looking for, so if we see a break of structure of this level here, most likely we'll see a continuation and bearish momentum continue. However, if we see price end up coming back up from this area here, or somewhere around this area, maybe price continues on a little bit more before price comes back up, our next key level that we're going to be taking into account is this level here, which is our 3036 level, and it exhausts roughly around to 3055. Once we see, for example, if in the next few hours we see a candlestick that finishes with the body of the candlestick finishing around here, a bullish continuation out of this consolidation phase will most likely continue. So basically what we're looking for is, at the moment, we'll most likely see some consolidation, some retracements on either side, but what we're looking for in terms of like main things to happen is this level here to be surpassed and a bullish move to continue, or a bearish move if price breaks structure through this level. So what we're going to do is we're going to look through we're going to put in these little lines here and just say, okay, so if we see price surpass that level and the body of a candlestick finish above that, below that level, we most likely will see a continuation of bearish momentum. We'll keep that in red, and the same thing for this. If we see price finish above this level here, we most likely will see a bullish continuation with price coming back near the 3100 area. I'm going to go ahead and mark that in green just so you've got some idea of what's happening. So again, we see break of structure through this level, and remember, break of structure means the body of the candlestick. If we see a break of structure on hour one, and most likely we'll see a bearish continuation. If we see a break of structure on the top side on this resistance and price finishes in a bullish manner, and with the body of the candlestick finishing higher than this high here, a bullish move is more likely. So with that being said, that's what we're looking for as of right now. In terms of the market, we're waiting for sort of gold to actually come back out of this bearish retracement, and it inevitably will. That's how gold is. Gold as a material will always ever continue. You'll have some retracements, but price will most likely always continue bullish. So with all that being said, that's our start of week technical analysis. I'm really excited for our midweek technical analysis, where I could just sort of send you guys an update onto what has happened since this technical analysis, and we're just sort of, our traders are just sort of going to be monitoring the markets for the next few hours and just see how the rest of this New York session / coming into Asian session plays out. So yeah, I will catch you in the midweek technical analysis. Hope you have all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Peace.